And we're back.
We're back, baby. Episode number 4. It's been an eventful week. Lots of news and funny things have happened. Yeah. I guess we can start with Shannon Sharpe. From the, what is it?
From Club Shay Shay, and he also does Nightcap.
That's right. Yeah, with Ocho Cinco.
Yeah, Unc, as they call him. Yeah, so Unc
Sharpe.
Unc Sharpe, yeah. He was up there, and his IG was rolling.
Yeah, and he was
putting in some overtime.
He was dipping it.
He was swimming.
It's funny because apparently, like, there's this like ongoing joke. Like, he's older, so he doesn't know how technology works. So like he just left it on without knowing it was on. I mean, there's a lot of people saying also that he did it on purpose or whatever. So like he said, I think he did an interview, and he has done a bunch of interviews about it now. Yeah. Where he talks to multiple people. It's like, well, he's pretty famous right now, so why would he have to like fake that to like gain followers or become more famous? So.
I do like the fact that he came out. Originally, I think his publicist put out, hey, his account was hacked, whatever. But then he came back and said, no, like, let's just tell her we're 2 consenting adults. Let's just state the facts. This is what happened. There was no animals. No one was hurt in the making of this film. Hey, no one was hurt, but there was a murder committed.
Yeah. She might have to put a little bit of ice or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, I think that's probably the best way to go about it. Is like, instead of like
covering it up,
trying to cover it. Hey, it was a mistake. He didn't mean to do it, but it happened. So you just gotta move on, right?
There you go. Yeah,
and like he said, nobody was there because they didn't want to be. They were there because they were both consenting adults.
It definitely sounded consensual.
There was no one screaming,
"Stop."
Yeah, or like get off of me or anything like that. It was more like
those are moans of enjoyment.
Unc Sharpe was huffing and puffing. You gonna take it?
You gonna take it, Michelle?
I think Ocho said like, "Hey, Unc, you gotta work on the cardio though, because you were huffing and puffing a little bit."
But he defended himself. He said he was like 20 minutes in, something like that. But
so it had been going on for a while. Everybody knows how it gets.
So it's like third quarter, right? And if you equivalent to a football game, it's like third quarter. So
So what are we saying? Like each quarter is what? About
I don't know.
About 6-7 minutes.
It depends who you're asking.
Hey, not every game is the same either, right?
Exactly.
Hey, some games are quick. Some games go a little bit longer.
Sometimes you play hurt.
Yeah. Sometimes you be like, you know what? We just gotta give up this game. It's not gonna happen.
Exactly. Right. Sometimes, like boxing, you throw the towel in. I can't.
I can't do it. I can't do it. My back hurts. Yeah. She's just, get off of me.
Yeah. Oh, that's enough. No, but shout out to Shannon Sharpe for just owning it. I mean, these were 2 consenting adults, and
yeah, that's the way to do it.
I mean, if like reality, if it was just some regular Joe Smo off the streets, no one would really care. They're just like, oh, it's probably fake, and just throw it to the side. But because it's Shannon Sharpe and it has that verified check mark next to it, or what, Shannon Sharpe 84,
right?
With the verified check next to it, it's like, oh, it's a big deal. But no one wants to hear a statement from me if
exactly.
Yeah,
well, I mean, also like there's always nowadays someone looking to cancel you for whatever they can, right?
Whatever they can find on you. Yeah.
And in reality, look, this is things that happen every day. It's just, there you go. Nobody knows about it because they're not famous or they're not in the eye of the public or whatever you want to call it. But it happens. And look, everyone. Well, I haven't, but a lot of people have sent, like, let's say if you have a family group chat or whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows, right? There's probably people that send pictures of them naked or doing something they're not supposed to be doing to the family chat without, like, wanting to. Like, it's just an honest mistake. It happens.
Like a dick pic.
Shit, I mean, do you imagine that? Like, let's say you're in a group chat with your mom and dad, right? And you just happen to send a picture that wasn't meant for them. It could be even. I think if it's just you, it's embarrassing, but it's okay. But if it's
you can talk that one off.
Yeah, if it's you and your wife or something like that, that's a whole different thing, because now it's just more than you, right? There's someone else involved, and then you gotta deal with their shame about it too. It's not just your shame. Or look, who knows, right? There's people that are very comfortable in their family where, you know, being naked is not a problem or whatever. Yeah. I still think it's something that's kind of embarrassing, but you know, hey, yeah, like he said, shout out to Unc Sharpe. He's putting in work.
Yep.
Hey, he's an older man, but he's in great shape. Got it. He still got it.
He still got it.
Hey, he still got it.
Hey, that big slave nigga, he still got it. Cornbread fan, he still got it. He probably ate some collard greens after that. Hey, you want some juice? You good?
He went for the nightcap after that.
Oh yeah, there was a cap that was there was a night that was capped. Mm-hmm. But that actually brought me to a memory when I was in the military, right? And I was in basic training, and you're not supposed to fraternize, you know, talk to girls, and girls aren't supposed to talk to males and stuff like that. But it happens, right? And so I went to Fort Jackson in South Carolina, and it's co-ed. So there's males and females. You know, there's other places like Fort Benning, Georgia, where it's straight males, you know, and Oklahoma as well. So there was a girl there. We were both consenting, you know, and we would exchange notes and stuff like that. That's it. I've never done anything. I've heard stories of people going in washrooms and stuff like that in the bathroom and doing stuff, but we never done anything.
Right.
It was just a simple like, hey, here's a note, you know, and just like very friendly talk and stuff like that. Nothing crazy. And so what happens in the military too is that they do health and welfare inspections, right? Just to make sure that your locker is clean. And so they'll just tell you at a moment's notice, hey, go up there, open up your lockers, and stand by your bunk. And you know what's coming. They're doing the health and welfare. So if you got some contraband,
just looking for shit.
Just looking for stuff, right? You got some contraband, time to hide it, right? So what I did was, I was like, oh man, because I had notes, right? So I ran up there, I grabbed them, and I stuffed them in my pants. I stuffed them in my pants, right? And so I was like, whew, dodged the bullet there. And I stand by my bunk. They get to my locker. They're like, well, what is this? I missed one note. Tell me why. They were like, okay. They gave the note. They were like, who is this? You know, who is this? Oh, I think probably her name was on there, right? And so what happened was they gave the note to her and made her read it in front of everyone. She was crying, man. And I was
they made her read it?
They made her read it in front of everyone, yo.
Hey, that's psychological abuse, right?
Yeah, I felt so bad, but it's a good story to laugh about now.
And you were they made her read it, but you were clearly part of the whole situation, or
they found it in my locker, and they knew who it was.
Automatically, they knew you were one of the
perpetrators.
The perpetrators, right?
Exactly.
And then they saw her name.
Yeah.
And then
I think they saw her name, or they asked me. Either way, they tied it to her, and they made her read it in front of everyone.
That's rough.
It was pretty. Like I said, it was nothing like crazy, but like even still though, it was more like, oh, like you're cute and like, you know, what do you like to do for fun and stuff.
Hey girl, your boobs are huge.
Yeah. Damn, look at all that.
Damn.
Yeah. Move.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty embarrassing.
That just reminded me of that. That was pretty embarrassing. There's my. Hey, I didn't have no publicist. I don't
think I've ever had embarrassing moments like that where I can remember. I got caught jacking off once.
There you go.
Yeah, it was, you know.
I mean, you're a kid, and there you go. Mama comes kicking the door down, and
I think I was like probably like 11, 12.
Okay, yeah.
So you know that's when you start playing with the voodoo doll.
The voodoo doll.
You know, you start choking the chicken. You know, but yeah, it was kind of embarrassing. But you know, I got over it. You know, it is what it is. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing like that where I've sent pictures to the wrong person, or like even send like the email to the wrong person. That can happen too. Like, you know, that happened at work once where this dude was sharing his screen. It was an all hands meeting, which means the whole company is in the Zoom meeting. Yeah. And then this guy was giving a presentation, and he's scrambling. You know, a lot of times you're in the middle of the presentation, you lose track or whatever, and he switches screens, and behind the screen that he was presenting, there was an email opened up where he was clearly talking shit about someone else on his team. And I mean, everyone saw it. I'm like, oh shit, that shit's, that's the kind of shit that gets you fired. But he wasn't fired. He was just basically saying, like, why is this dude even here? Like, he doesn't do shit, and he has so much responsibility. Like why are we even like dealing with this person? Like going all out on it, and
wow.
that has to be one of the embarrassing ones, because they're gonna call you to the side and be like, hey man,
they gotta address this. Everyone knows,
and everybody has that problem, especially now if you work from home. Like, a lot of times you do these Zoom meetings, and you're sharing your screen, so you have to be careful. Like, sometimes messages pop up on the corner, and it could be someone saying something that you don't want someone else to see or whatever. So it happens. So hey, embarrassing moments. There you go.
Embarrassing moments right there. So
something happened this weekend, right? Or not this weekend, but
Thursday,
this week.
like Thursday or something like that. So I was cooking on a grill over there, because I'm a chef. I'm a chef with it.
Grilling it up,
right? Making my chickens, making my salmon. Okay. I was doing my thing.
Hey, yo, man, it's hot as fuck out here.
It is.
Look,
the fans are running.
I'm sorry, this might be too much information, but a sweat drop just went right down my back and into my butt crack. Hey. I'm sweating bullets over here, and they're going down my butt crack.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I interrupted.
Yeah. Nonsense. So we need a nonsense button. There you go. So I'm cooking on the grill and stuff. The charcoal isn't moving along as fast as I would like it to. So, it's all sealed up, right? And I squirt some, the front of it. Open up the door. I squirt some lighter fluid in there. And I go to light it, right? And
bad idea.
I created like high pressure, low pressure, or something, and it just went whoosh. And it looks like I shaved my arm.
It probably smelled like burnt hair.
Oh,
too.
you can smell it big time. Yeah, you can still see, like, look, compared to this arm, look at that.
You got some short ass hairs.
Yeah, exactly. I burnt almost all of it off on this arm. And then some of it on this arm, and my hand was like,
it happens,
on fire.
Hey, that's part of being a dad and grilling. If you haven't burned your hairs at least once, I think I actually burned my hairs there too, not too long ago. Like right here, there's a bald spot. I probably did the same thing
on the grill.
Yeah, wow. It was the same thing. So. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, and
you pour a little bit too much fluid or liquid on it, and next thing you know, you got a fireball coming out.
And that's not even the worst part. The worst part is I got it on film. So,
you actually recorded it?
Yeah, I actually recorded it.
Look, you can send me the video. We can put it on the.
Yeah, but I want you to see it right now, though. Check this out. You see, I'm squirting it in there.
Squirting it in.
Watch that. Watch. Wait.
About to light it up. Oh! Hey, you were pretty quick though.
Yeah,
and it still got you.
Yeah, it still got me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So send me that video, because I'll put it on the. When we post the episode, so people can see that dumb shit that you did.
That was my second fire story. I got a first fire story, right? So my first marriage, DT was like probably maybe not even a year old, right?
Right.
Living in North Carolina in the military. Me, my dad, my wife at the time, my son, we drive from North Carolina to St. Louis, right, to visit my grandparents on my dad's side.
Mm-hmm.
It was Memorial Day weekend or 4th of July. Either way, it's one of those days where barbecuing is very prevalent, right? So I think it was Memorial Day. And so they're cooking, grilling up and all that stuff, and we let the coals sit the night over. The next night. So, if you put them in a trash can, the whole thing's going to catch on fire because they're still hot. It takes time, right? Mm-hmm. So we wait until the next day to dump it in a trash can. I feel it. It doesn't feel that hot, right? So I dump it in a trash bag or trash can, and then I throw it in a dumpster like across the street. In St. Louis, they have alleyways and stuff like that, right? And then I go take a shower. My wife at the time comes in and is like, hey, hurry up. Because can you go check the the dumpster back there? It's smoking a little bit. I get out, I get changed, and I look across the street. It is a inferno. It's an inferno. inferno, dude. The whole dumpster. One of those big green dumpsters with the two lids that go like this, right? The whole thing's on flame. The whole thing's on fire. It is on fire just from a little coal.
A literal dumpster on fire.
A literal dumpster fire. Yes, the whole thing. We had to call the fire department to put it out. There was no way we were putting that out.
So when you called the fire department, did you admit to being the one that did it, or you just? I would have honestly, I would have been like, hey, I'm reporting this. I just saw it. I don't know who did it.
No, I owned up to it, and I didn't get a ticket. I thought for sure I was like going to get a ticket or go to jail or something like that. Going to have to talk to no one. They put it out, and it's funny too because there was some plant. It was up against a fence with some. You could tell like some vine type plants are hanging off of it. All those vines are burnt up. Right. The fence is brown. The trash in the trash can is all ash.
Well,
it was like really bad. I'm glad they got there in a reasonable time and put that thing out because I thought for sure I was getting the ticket or going to jail.
Listen, you're a better person than me because I would have lied my ass off. I'd be like, hey, I actually saw a homeless dude who threw something in there and took off running. I don't know what it was. Yeah, but that's fun. That's actually crazy. But that's one of those like crazy stories that, you know, glad nothing really like serious happens, and it becomes like a funny story. Yeah,
that's why
a funny memory.
You know, it's one of those things. If like a house caught on fire, I probably would have kept that to myself. You know, or someone got seriously injured, you probably don't want to share that.
I guess it also depends on how long ago it happened, because you know, with time things don't become or they lose how serious shit. I keep bumping into shit. How serious shit was like. I mean, obviously when it happened, it was fucking serious.
Oh yeah.
But then, you know, as time goes by, you know, whatever. It's just a funny story.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I remember that time that I almost died. Well, it wouldn't have been funny if you died, but you didn't. So it becomes a funny story or whatever.
Yeah.
At some point. Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I was pretty scared.
We have to be careful with you and fire because at this point, hey, third time might be the charm. Don't do it.
Pyromaniac.
Yeah, I remember like friends and stuff like that, you know, especially little boys, they'll do crazy shit. Like they'll play with fire or whatever, and they'll burn like sheet or like a bed or something like that. You know, some crazy shit. I was a good kid. I never did shit like that.
Yeah, I was a good kid.
I wasn't getting whooped or anything either, so I was just good.
My parents are black, so
I changed a lot with time. But when I was a kid, I was a good person. Now, you know, questionable.
Yeah, I feel like I get into a little more mischief now, just because. You know, I'm a little bit older and I know a little bit more, and you can press the boundary a little bit more. As a kid, your parents are already ahead of you and like, hey, don't do that, don't do this, don't, you know. So, well, at least my parents were pretty much on top of me. You know, I really didn't get in trouble.
I mean, because they knew we were doing some dumb shit.
Maybe, probably.
Anyway, so we also. Wanted to, well, we have a whole list of things that we want to talk. A lot of things, like if we don't get through it, we'll just leave it for later. But one of the things is on the list says, if you were gay, would you be top or bottom? Now, I think this is a lose-lose situation.
If I was gay, right?
What does this mean? Like, does it mean you're giving it or you're taking it? Or both? I mean, it could be, you can take it from the bottom or the top.
You could be power bottom, right? Isn't that a concept? Power bottom.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what they call it. So that means that motherfucker's riding on top of you.
and you just
grab to the chicks and just like that. That's how you would do it. Eye to eye. Anyways, okay, so you know you brought this question up. So
way to throw me under the bus.
Since you're curious, what's your answer?
Topic.
What's your answer?
I would be ambidextrous.
So you just switcheroo.
Hey, if the water flows that way.
Hey, like Bruce Lee. What? Flow like water, become water, my friend.
Like Muhammad Ali.
No,
float like a butterfly. No. Sting like a.
You never heard this Bruce Lee thing?
No.
Well, he's talking about being like water.
And flow with the...
water if you put water in a cup, it becomes the cup. If you put water in a bucket, it becomes the bucket.
All right, man.
So his whole thing was like, be like water. Be formless.
How many channels did you guys have in Cuba? 2? One was Korean when I left, or Chinese? Whatever it is.
That shit I saw here. When I left Cuba, we had only 2 channels. And they were both controlled by the government. So you just watch. It was funny, though.
Repeats of Dragon...
So...
Fist of Fury...
Oh yeah, there was a bunch of those. Like I was a huge fan of Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Okay.
Like Bloodsport and all that shit. Hey,
Yeah.
that was my jam when I was
Yeah.
a kid. You know, fucking.
When he did Street Fighter, that was pretty good.
That was okay. But he did a bunch of like movies like that, like Lionheart, and you know where he was a twin with himself or whatever. And then they always had the Asian dude as his nemesis,
I don't know.
Bolo Young.
Sure.
You know that you seen Bloodsport, right?
Sure. No.
Yes, where
No, I
they're
haven't.
doing the tournament.
I haven't even seen The Color Purple.
You never. Man, fuck The Color Purple. I'm talking about.
Oh!
You heard it here first.
Oh!
Fuck The Color Purple.
Whoa!
Hey, you want to take a swim in the waters of Lake Minnetonka? Listen, Bloodsport. That's where they throw the thing to his eyes, and he's like, ah!
Is that what he's like?
Yeah, it's like blind. And he's like, so the Asian dude, big buff dude, always like moving his titties up and down. Remember?
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, anyways, they did a bunch of movies like that.
Okay.
I don't know where I'm going with this. What I'm saying is, why? Look, we were talking about being top and bottom, and we're talking about Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I don't know. Maybe because he does the splits. He's really good at it.
There you go. All right.
know.
So, okay. So you'll be say at bottom.
I said ambidextrous. I would go either way, probably, more than likely. Which is interesting because I was dating this girl. This is one of the Puerto Ricans, right? And her roommate was gay, right?
Right.
And so he met this guy, and I guess, you know, since you're gay and, you know, there's two penises, you have to figure it out.
That's
you
how
know?
it works.
Yeah, yeah. You have to figure it out. Like, okay, so who's going to be top and who's going to be bottom? And apparently he lied and said that he was ambidextrous or something. And he, you know, it came down to the actual moment, and you know,
I mean, that can be
So I-
misconstrued though, because if you say that, it's like, oh, so you can take it from the top or the bottom. Then that doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna be. Look, I don't know how this works.
I mean, why? Because you're not gay? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've never been in a situation like that. Normally, you know, in a regular relationship where with a man and a woman, you're the only one giving because no one else can give it to you. You know, hold up.
You ever had the headboard? Kevin Hart brings that up. You ever had, you know, she's moving to the headboard. Doop, doop, doop. The faster the headboard, the faster she's moving.
Anyways, so that's all to say that, you know, I don't know how it works. So I think it maybe in some relationships, let's say if it's a dude and a dude, one of them
Has
well, they're
Has to
not,
be
it's
top.
not always the same, no, right? Like sometimes, like they're both like manly dudes,
okay.
and or
in this
sometimes
example, they both were. Well, actually, they both were buff, but one was
what
definitely
does that
girly.
mean?
They're like, you know,
Big dudes,
yeah,
right.
big dudes,
strong
right?
dudes,
Yeah, strong dudes. And I'm thinking like,
big
how does
strong
this-
gorilla dudes.
Yeah. I'm thinking, like, how does this work? Until I saw him open up his mouth and he was like,
So
flaming.
you
other guy was
automatically assumed that he was the
bottom.
bottom.
Exactly. And
Well-
actually, it was the other way around. The feminine one was the masculine, the giver, and then the yeah.
masculine dude was the taker.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's a little confusing to me. You know,
Again.
I have gay friends. Shout out to all my gays out there.
so I think I'll be a top, and the reason I'll be a top is because I don't want to be pinned down by a strong motherfucker. That just sounds like you know,
shit
yeah. There you go.
in your ear.
Unc Sharpe in your ear. Take it, girl. Yeah. So I'll just pick. I guess we have to pick one, right? You went both ways.
Or sideways.
Hey, you're a flexible motherfucker. You know, you swing both ways. I'll be a top. I'm gonna pick top. I'm not gonna be. That's a cop out.
Why not?
Oh, both of them. No.
Sure.
Pick one.
Why not?
You want to be pinned down, or you want to be doing the pinning?
Hey, what's that movie with Janet Jackson and the guy from Ghost?
I've never seen that movie,
He's like,
but I've seen the clip.
how do you do that and come home to a wife? And she's like, what did she say?
So yeah, she's
How do
talking
you-
about like fucking man.
Yeah, how
And
do
he's
you-
like, oh no, he's like, so you just let anyone bend you over? He's like, ain't nobody be bending me over. I do the bending.
no, you gotta say it like him. I do the bending. no,
She's the one that says it.
yeah. So he's like,
She's like, ain't nobody bending me over.
He's like, ain't nobody bending me over. Oh, so you do the business.
That doesn't make you any
That
less.
doesn't make it any better. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, I mean, in the topic of, tops and bottoms, it turns out that, these, I don't know where I got this news from. I heard it somewhere. But someone was spilling the tea on good old boy Abraham Lincoln. They're saying that my man was in a relationship with a dude for 4 years. He was just
Cheeks.
making a clap. But I mean, why would you bring this out all these years after, right?
Yeah, what does it
What's
matter?
the point of that?
I mean, he already made a coin.
And exactly, what's the
He's
matter?
a president. Who cares? And how do you find that out now? Like, who'd you interview that's still alive? That was alive then.
Maybe
that's
they,
alive now.
Maybe they found some
Gay panties?
some secret scriptures, documents.
I guess so.
Where maybe a diary. Maybe Abraham was writing that shit down.
Abraham was riding the Lincoln.
So yeah, I mean, I just don't see the point. Apparently, like he was in a relationship with this dude, right? And I'm guessing that once he became president, because I'm pretty sure back then being gay was not looked upon.
Was no bueno.
Yeah, that's no good.
Eso no se hace.
No se hace, man. So, anyways, back then, you were gay, you would probably get, definitely you couldn't be president, probably.
Who knows? I don't know. This is America. Well,
So
they signed the Declaration in 1776. So when was he president? He was what, like the second or third president? So
You don't know which president he was?
he was either the second or third. George Washington was the first.
It was not the second.
Second or third, I think.
Wow.
I don't know.
You claim to be an American and you don't know?
First of all, actually, if you want to be technical, a lot of you people know more about American
What do you
history.
mean, you people?
I'm talking about you immigrants
Yeah.
and the people who are eating the dogs and the cats and stuff.
Hey, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating our pets. This fucking dude, bro.
Come here, Coco.
Look, let me tell you something. Just to get a little sidetracked. Look, we already talked about Abraham. Don't leave the dude alone. He's a national hero. He's in our coin. He cannot be. What's the point of doing it now? Let him rest in peace. What if he was banging a dude? It's fine. Look, he had his wife, right? They were probably both fucking the same dude. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be saying this shit. Look, I'm talking about not making him look bad. I'm out here.
Yeah, he's making it worse.
Banging in the White House.
And the Oval Office.
Yeah. And I don't mean gangs. I mean gangbangs.
Yeah.
Anyways, look. Because we were talking about Trump right now. Look, so what you thought about you saw the debate.
It's more entertaining than anything.
It's a circus.
Yeah, it's a circus. I wouldn't know. I'm not going to vote this election, and I wouldn't know who really to vote for, and that's why
they
I'm just
both said lies.
I'm going to sit on the sidelines.
They both said lies. They both fluffing their shit up. But it's just funny because I think she did much better than I thought she was going to do. Because I normally don't think that she... I don't know. She doesn't do too well when it's not like a scripted thing. But obviously she came prepared. And she lit my dude up because... she got under his skin, which was the game, right? Like, get under his skin, get him, like, riled up, and there you go. Then you get some crazy soundbite, which is famous now. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Yeah. They're repping everybody out here. But, I mean, there is a little bit of truth to that, though. Like, in Ohio, that's where he was talking about. So, apparently, they're having a big issue with Haitian immigrants, right? Where they were not... I never heard anything about the dogs and the cats, but they were going to like parks and grabbing the ducks.
Grabbing the ducks?
Yeah, ducks, wild ducks, swimming in the park or whatever.
Duck is good.
And,
my dad loves duck and noodles.
They hungry. They gotta eat. But yeah, they were grabbing the ducks and eating them. Like there's a picture of this dude walking around with a duck without a head or something like that.
Why are they? Is it because lack of food or what's going on?
I don't know. I mean...
Yeah, what was the purpose of him bringing it up?
Things in Haiti are not very good, so who knows what's going on over there.
Well, that's in... Oh, so this is in Haiti, not here in America?
No. This was in Ohio.
Okay, exactly. So why... Like, what's going on in Ohio?
So there's a big, I guess, influx of, like, immigrants from Haiti.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if they don't have any place to put them. Or, I don't know. Is Ohio one of those sanctuary cities or whatever?
I know Chicago is. New York, I believe, is.
Look, I don't know if it is or not. But anyways, that's what was going on there. And so there's a little bit of truth behind it. It's just the way he said it and the way he just talked about it is not the right thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's... I don't think either choice is good. Because, I mean, I do agree with he was saying, like, hey, if you're going to do all these great things, why haven't you done them? I mean, you've been there.
Yeah, you can't, as the vice president, I mean, like, you do have some kind of authority.
Well, she was placed in charge of the border, too. Anyways, look, we're not a political...
podcast.
We're commentators or whatever, so...
Just
whatever.
current events.
Fuck that shit. And fuck Purple Rain.
Hey, you hating on Prince, Purple Rain? Hey, speaking of Prince, one thing I did want to bring up that we weren't originally going to talk about was that what could you do back in the 90s that you can't do now? And I'll start with Prince. He had his ass cheeks hanging out performing.
He did?
Yes.
I never saw that.
Okay.
He was always wearing like pants and shit.
He's got his cheeks out.
Oh, out of the pants?
Out of the pants. His cheeks.
It was part of the performance, man.
Exactly. He was performing. His cheeks were out.
Well, I mean...
I don't think nowadays, there's so much, like we were talking earlier, cancel culture.
What are you talking about? I mean, for a dude? Because girls are with their asses out all the time.
Performing on stage, live TV.
Look, you have all these like award shows, like BET Awards or whatever might be the case, right? And you got Megan Thee Stallion over there wearing a fucking thong with her cheeks out, and Cardi B with her boobs out. I ain't got nothing against it. As a matter of fact, I'm all for it.
You encourage it. I encourage it.
So what's the difference between that and Prince with her cheeks out?
I just think, like I said, I brought up a topic of like, what could you do back then that you can't do now? I think that would be kind of like, it seems like everyone's kind of sensitive nowadays, like Dave Chappelle's skits. Could you really do that nowadays? The black white supremacists, like that was hilarious, but I think people are kind of sensitive nowadays,
Yeah, I don't think you have to go that far down. It doesn't have to be the 90s. Like, it's funny because I was talking to my wife the other day about... You've seen Tropic Thunder, right?
I love that movie. Who hasn't seen that?
Robert Downey Jr.
Blackface.
Plays a black guy.
I would pay double for him to do it again. It was hilarious.
He was in the Joe Rogan show, and Joe Rogan was asking him, was like, hey, can you do that movie today? He's like, oh, you could do it, but, the reception might not be too good.
There you go.
And it's funny because he said that he actually kind of, like... slid by because first of all he killed it on the role, and also he said that people were paying more attention to Ben Stiller doing the whole bit with their retarded guy. So he took the
Simple Jack.
So he took the heat off of Robert Downey Jr. for doing blackface. But honestly, I don't think any black person really gave a fuck about him portraying a black dude, because he was funny because he was a white dude in the movie too. He just was playing that's what the role that he got cast for.
I'll speak for all the black people out there. If you're funny, you get a pass. Yep, all of them. Black people, we love comedy. So if you're funny, we give you a pass.
I think that's actually
we give you a pass. If you're funny, you do some racist shit and it's funny, you get a pass.
That's where the line is drawn, right? Exactly. There. Yeah, it becomes funny, a big gray area really quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it's like, oh man, this motherfucker's kind of funny. He can say whatever he wants. Yeah. So you can get away with a lot if you're funny. I mean, this is the same with a girl. Like, there's a lot of girls that might not find you attracted per se, but you make them laugh. Yeah, you know what they say? If you can make them giggle, you can make them chicks jiggle. So yeah, hey, look. Hey, there you go. So look, I pride myself in being a funny motherfucker. I be making people laugh for the right reasons or the wrong reasons, but so it doesn't matter, right?
I was watching I think it's Lewis Howes podcast, School of Greatness, great podcast. And shout out Lewis Howes. Hey, if you ever want to interview us, Lewis Howes, hey, you know where to find us.
Is that where every single podcast you're like, hey, if you ever want to have us over there?
No, but he was talking to this, I don't know what his title is, what his background is, but somewhere probably like in psychology or something like that. and he was saying that laughter is like the best talent a guy can have for a woman, because it's kind of like if you can make her laugh, you can kiss her. You know?
I mean, you can get away with murder.
Yeah, you can get away with murder if you make her laugh.
And I mean,
that's how I feel.
I know, these days is pretty common for people to get fired up about, things that you might say and, or do if you're performing like a comedy show or whatever. Like, there's a lot of people that get butt hurt.
Yeah.
More than ever before nowadays. But still, like, I think that's like just a very, very few people that are very loud online and they express how they feel. But the grand majority of people, they're okay with it. Like, they don't really give a fuck. Like, you can make, gay jokes. You can make jokes about, fuck shit. Even people with disabilities and stuff like that. And probably people with those same disabilities, they would just laugh at it.
I mean, Kill Tony podcast, the guy with the wing arms and shit like that.
That's a girl.
They were like, hey, you can still do comedy and your arms are all mangled like that,
Right.
And he's the guy is like killing it comedy wise, and he's all for it.
There's this thing called dark humor. And I think mostly everybody likes dark humor. Where, I mean, of course, there's things that go a little too far, like anything else in life, right? But bottom line is, it's great, and I think, like, I come from a place where we used to like laugh at our own, what was going around us as a way to cope with it, right? So a lot of people, especially that come from places that are, that have hardship and shit like that, like, you learn to laugh about things so that they don't seem. They're still bad. You're not taking away the gravity of it. It's just that you have to laugh at things. And hey, maybe that's exactly what we need in this fucking country right now. It's like people that laugh at problems and don't get uptight and butthurt about everything. So
yeah, I agree. Yeah, laughter is a great medicine for dealing with stress.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Actually, this brings up a point that I wanted to bring. This brings up something I wanted to bring up. I had it in my head. It just left.
How many fucking times are you going to say you wanted to bring it up? Get it out.
I don't know. Anyway.
So you were going to say something, then you just...
It dropped just like that. Hey, man.
You want to talk about this?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you want to say it? I said. So this was also one of the news that was floating around. This woman, I don't know, she like crashed her car or whatever happened, but she said, first of all, it was in Kentucky, so take that with a grain of salt already. And she said that Kanye West.
Kanye. Not Kanye. Kanye.
The same.
Oh.
Kanye West telepathically told her to total the car. What do you think about that? Hey, I wouldn't put it past him, though. Maybe he does have some special powers.
Yeezy?
How many names does he have?
I don't know. Yeezy?
Kanye?
No, you made that one up.
Yeezy? No, Yeezy are
the shoes.
The shoes.
But people call them Yeezy. Yee or Yeezy? Yee? Something like that. I don't know. But anyways.
It could happen.
I don't know. They I mean, with this Neuralink crap, I mean, there you go. That's like Wi-Fi in your brain.
Or maybe that's because that's the way he behaves. He's got some...
Well, they said that like we do have brain waves, but the problem is like interpreting them and stuff like that.
We don't know how to do it?
Something like that. Like we have brain waves, So when you think, like there's frequencies...
I mean, like radio waves, right?
Like radio waves, yeah, exactly.
So if you have a big ass head,
if you had a big ass antenna and that could modular that could understand those scientific brain waves, then you could.
That's some bullshit right now. Hey, but who knows? Maybe. Hey, don't they say that we only use like a certain percentage of our brains or something like that? Actually,
Neil deGrasse Tyson debunks that. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what it says. He says he says that it's not true.
How does he know that shit?
I mean, the guy's like a genius. He's an astrophysicist, but he sure knows a lot of shit.
Right, but I mean, where's the proof? Show me the paperwork.
All right, let me cut open your brain and.
That's not how it works.
Nah. But I don't know, man.
That was a dumb story, but it was funny. It's like, cause people, a lot of times, like, I love watching those videos online, TikTok or whatever. Like, this is one of this lady that got stopped by the cops, and she was like, you know, they asked for, of course, license and registration. She's like, no, I don't have a license. I don't need a license to drive.
Oh, these sovereign citizens.
Yeah.
Yo, what is this? What is this thing? Like, these people, it's so funny to me. These people think that they can, like, all of a sudden, like, when it comes, I know the only time that I see it on YouTube is when they're driving. Nowhere else. It's all of a sudden like you're just driving on this road, and you don't need to abide by law.
Says who? It's like, yes, and the cop was obviously like, no, you do need a license to drive.
Yeah.
It's like, nah,
I'm a sovereign citizen. I don't agree to your.
And it's always funny because it's like, obviously, you don't know the law, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, police officer, you don't know the law. I do, though.
Yeah.
And I don't need a license to drive. And, you know, it's always like some crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't know where they get it from. Or, you know, that you go on TikTok or any platform, there's always some motherfucker saying like, yeah, actually, if you look into it, you don't really have to pay taxes.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you that's
Try
actually
that.
it's legal. You don't have to pay it. And I'm like, look, I'm not trying to end up like Wesley Snipes and go to jail for no goddamn tax evasion.
Exactly.
Did he go to jail?
I don't know, but he definitely got in some trouble. He got in trouble. So.
I mean, and a bunch of other people have to. Look, you got to pay Uncle Sam his money.
You got to pay him.
Otherwise, you're going to be dropping the soap with Big Tyrone.
Shannon.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
Okay. Too much. Okay.
That's the fucking fourth time you've used that shit.
Well, it was the last two times it was justified.
Okay, whatever.
So
if you say so.
Yeah, but that's interesting. I find it so interesting that these sovereign citizens just like
does it ever work though? Like,
no,
do they ever
it
get
never
out of
works.
trouble?
And actually, they do have an organization, like a formal organization. I forgot what it's called. And they put a bounty, $1 million bounty on the sheriff of Polk County's head. They put a bounty on his head. Like, yeah, go collect that. Go collect that.
But who did it? Who was it?
This sovereign citizen organization, right? They put a bounty in
on
their
the sheriff
in their government system. In their government system.
Oh, they have a system and everything?
They have their own little sovereign citizen government system. They put a $1 million bounty on the sheriff, what's his name, Jude, in Polk County's head.
Right.
So I'm like, go collect that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go collect that.
And then
see how that works out for you.
You know, they get shot in the ass and, you know.
That would be least to say that would happen.
Oh, yeah. They'll be waiting for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they already know, right?
Yeah, come on.
Because as soon as someone does that shit, like, I'm sure, like...
As soon as you talk about it on the internet, send text messages, I mean, FBI is probably going to be at your door.
It's like, you know, a lot of times these, like, school shooters and shit like that, like, they go back and they've been talking about all this shit that they plan to do in social media.
Like the one that happened in Georgia, right?
And somehow it just slips through the cracks and, like...
Let's talk about that one. You want to talk about the one that happened in Georgia, like, last week? The shooter, the guy, he's like 14. He went to the school. He shot it up, right? That happened. But prior to that, I think about a year before that.
Oh, yeah.
They investigated him because of a similar situation. Like you said, he was talking about it on social media. They showed up at the house, talked to the dad, confronted him.
Yeah, there was a video of them talking to the dad.
Yep.
And, you know, they asked him, hey, do you have guns in the house? And the dad says yes.
Yep.
Like,
he seemed very cooperative.
They're not loaded, but yeah. And
he knows how to handle him. I think he's taking
his dad got a bunch of charges because he bought the gun for his son.
Let's talk about that. I mean,
how young is too young?
Well,
14 is too young.
It's a difference. I'm okay with buying my son a gun, right? Or a parent buying their child a gun. However, the gun needs to be maintained by the parent. That's the difference.
Right, of course.
Is that, hey, this is yours, but I'm going to keep it in the safe locked up, and we can use your gun when we go to the range.
At that point, it's like, it's yours, in quotation marks.
No,
like,
it is theirs. You bought it for them.
Right.
Same thing.
But you're saying that you are the responsible party, really, for that gun and your kid.
Exactly.
Both of them.
Let's say this, right? Your son, right? He starts to drive at 16. You're going to buy him a car, right?
Yeah.
You bought him the car, right? It's his. but you're financially paying for it.
Yeah,
And if he acts up, you're gonna be like, you can't drive.
I mean, shit. At 16, I don't think he could afford a car. So yeah,
exactly.
I'm probably you want to give them freedoms and bring them up right, but I don't know, man. It sounds like I'm not like I don't fully know all the details about it, but obviously the guy fucked up.
Yeah.
Both of them, of course, but like I don't think giving a gun to your 14-year-old, especially when he has been talking online about doing shit,
and it clearly wasn't the first time, because if you look at that interview, the dad was responding to the police officer saying like, yeah, I have to go up to the school every day. He has this problem. Why are you buying this person a gun? Yeah,
you shouldn't be giving someone that has those kind of issues.
Yeah, fair enough if you want to buy a gun for him, but you lock it up and he can use it under your direct supervision.
Oh, I mean, regardless, or a kid that age, whether he has any kind of issues or not, like you shouldn't. That's not something like you said. You can have it. We can go shooting together because they say he's like, we go hunting together, whatever. Yeah, that's great. You are there with him. You're supervising him. He's not away from you at any point in time.
Exactly.
Where you don't know what he's actually doing with the gun.
Exactly.
So you have to be aware 100% of the time what's going on. I mean, obviously, once the person becomes an adult at 18, they're legally okay.
They're accountable for their actions.
Right. And that's a lot of times like that's out of the parents' hands at that point, right? You hope for the best. I hope I taught him well or her.
But by that time, you have a clue. You may not know 100%, but you have a clue of what kind of person you're dealing with.
Like, yeah. You can see the writing on the wall kind of thing. Where,
exactly.
Yeah. I mean, shit, it's got to be tough. I mean, I saw the videos and the dad looked like, he was ashamed. And by all means, I mean, he might not thought that he was doing anything wrong, but there's responsibility that lies with that. So.
Okay, so do you agree that in the state of Georgia, and I know some other states it's not the same, but in the state of Georgia, they can hold the parent liable for the actions of their child if it's that extreme? In this case, it was a mass shooting. It's that extreme. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
I agree too. 100%.
I agree because, again, he didn't do it himself.
No.
His kid did it, but
he's
responsible.
It.
Yeah,
I think that's how they worded it. Was that it was a preventable situation, death or something, murder. Or
look,
whatever.
Who's to say? Like, it will be pretty hard, I think, for a 14-year-old to get a gun.
They can't buy them. You have to be 18.
Right. Even if he tried to get it by all the means, right?
Illegally,
like buying it from someone in a parking lot because it's legal. Okay. You can buy a gun from someone in a parking lot. Yeah, I can, at least in Texas for sure.
I think you need to go through a dealer to if you wanted to give me your gun, sir. I think we have to go through a dealer.
Nope. Not, at least I don't know the laws in Georgia, but in Texas for sure. By the way, your left eye is blinking like a motherfucker right now. You're about to have a stroke. Anyways, here in Texas.
So
hey, I'm just letting you know, just in case this motherfucker drops dead right now. You know what's up. In Texas, you can go to a parking lot right now, and I can sell you a gun right there. There has to be no background check, nothing. It's legal.
So why do we have to go to a parking lot? Why can't we do it right here, right now?
I'm just giving you an example.
Okay.
Of course, you don't have to go to a fucking parking lot. You can come to my house and do it in my driveway. Yo, look at this shit.
I know North Carolina is different. I don't know. I don't remember the law here, but I know in North Carolina, for sure, and I think it's here too, you have to do it through a proper transfer for an arm, for a gun, has to be through a dealer.
I agree that that's how it should happen. And if you ask me, okay, look, I think it's way too easy to buy a gun.
It's okay. Hey, on the next episode, we'll bring that up if I'm right or you're right.
Oh, yeah, we're going to bring this shit back because I know I'm right.
Because you're petty
I already proved. Oh, yeah. Look, there's nothing that I love more in my fucking life. When my wife is telling me something and I know 100% that I'm right, that I have the right answer, and she's like, let's look it up, that like lights a fire inside of me because I know I'm going to prove her wrong.
And you know what? It's so funny because this is 100% true, and I have a great example of this. I have an electric toothbrush. We were talking about this toothbrush. I was like, why does the red light come on? It's weird because it's not consistent.
Oh, my God. God.
And she's like, oh, that's because it's for telling that it's dirty there still. And he's like, no, it's because you're pressing too hard. It's telling you that you're pressing too hard. And she's like, no, it's not. No, it's not. And he looks it up, and he's on his phone. He's like,
hold on, I gotta rub this shit in your face.
Yeah, he's like, it says if you press too goddamn hard, the red light will turn on to let you know that you're about to break your fucking toothbrush
or your teeth. I mean, I don't think it's good for you to be pressing that hard on your gums or anything like that. Look, it doesn't fucking matter the reason why.
He just wanted to be right.
But look, next episode we're gonna bring it up. Hey, bookmark this shit because we're gonna bring it up. If it is legal to privately sell your handgun.
Privately, yes, but okay, your argument is just me and you alone can do it, no other third party.
There's no form, no nothing that has to be signed or done.
That's your argument.
That's
my argument is it has to be done through a armory or armor or like a dealer, something like that.
All right.
Which means they actually oversee the transfer documents.
With the caveat, I'm not.
Oh no! You can't be doing that. You can't be doing that.
The fuck I can. Look, I'm pretty sure it's like that for handguns. I'm pretty sure. I don't know about rifles.
Wow.
I don't know about rifles. Look, either way, they make it way too easy to get a fucking gun.
Well, no, I mean the armorer has their oversight on it because now there's paperwork on it, and they're responsible for that. They're responsible. Yeah, they're responsible for that paperwork. Me and you, what's stopping me from just giving you the gun and then me committing a crime 2 days prior, and then you'd be like, hold up, I didn't do that.
But
he gave it to me.
That gun is not registered to you anyways.
It is.
It's not.
Who I bought it from.
They don't have the serial number. They don't have anything, dude.
Okay. I bought those guns in North Carolina, the ones that I have in my house. Except for the shotgun I bought here, and we did paperwork on it.
Yeah.
And here's the deal too. And you can, I know in North Carolina, you don't need a concealed carry license to buy a gun. You just can go register, get a certificate, and do a 1-for-1 swap, right? And I think you can do 5 of them total. So you have your certificate, piece of paper, give them to them, they give you the gun. However, if you have a concealed carry license, you can buy as many guns as you want.
Yeah, it's
the same thing here.
If I go to Academy right now, I have my concealed carry.
You can go buy as many guns as you want.
Yeah,
no questions asked.
They don't run you. They don't do anything else because you're already on the system.
But they do paperwork.
Right, but it's not.
That's my argument.
I bought guns before I had the concealed carry, right?
Exactly.
And you do have to fill out a whole questionnaire and all that shit, which is kind of funny if you think about it. Like, why are you filling out this paperwork, but you're still gonna double check if I'm telling the truth? Why not just give you my name and my social security or whatever? You run it, you see if I have anything in my background, and that's it.
Maybe because they expect you to tell the truth, and if they don't. If you tell a lie, then we can sell you this, which makes sense, right? Yeah.
If you're lying on an official document like that, which you shouldn't.
Well, because then it becomes an integrity issue. If you say yes, I did do X, Y, Z, and they look it up and like, oh, that makes sense, we'll still give him a gun because he told the truth and it's not that bad. Now, if you lie about doing something, even if it's small, and you lie about it.
Yeah, what else are you lying about? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, well, he lied about getting a ticket this year. He could be lying about X, Y, Z. So, I think that the paperwork is the integrity check, and then the actual lookup is like let's call him out on his.
I have a bunch of guns. I have an AR. I have a shotgun. I have multiple handguns, and I still think they make it too easy to fucking get it. If you think about it, right?
But I don't know how the statistics are today, but if you looked at it some time ago, and I kind of agree with it too, is that the states that are the most pro-gun are the states with the least amount of gun violence.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because now a criminal doesn't know who they're rolling up on.
And the cities that are the hardest on gun control are
the worst.
The wild ones.
Yep. New York, Chicago, there you go.
Hey.
Murder capital.
Look.
Washington, D.C.
Obviously, we live in Texas. Everybody pretty much has a gun and their baby.
Hey, yeah. If you want to shoot up a place,
Well, I mean, it has happened in Texas too.
Well, of course. I mean, like the Uvalde shooting, they went to a place where guns are not allowed.
that was just.
Now, if you go to,
It's not allowed there.
it's a school. You can't have guns in the school.
I know,
You can't have it on the ground.
Look, that's a whole mess. We shouldn't even get into that because there's a lot of things to talk about that one. We're gonna wrap up the episode.
Yeah.
But I guess we can talk about this since it just happened.
Speaking of shooting,
There you go. Go ahead.
so
take it away.
Trump was shot once in July, like 13th, something like that. He was
Right.
actually hit in his ear, and then today, September 15th, he was shot at again or in the vicinity.
Hold on. Yeah, they say in the vicinity. And we were talking before we started shooting the episode. It's like, well, what does that mean exactly? Does that mean a mile away? Does that mean
That's not a vicinity.
Someone shot in his direction and just completely missed?
Well, then they interviewed. I guess he was in Martin County, right? The sheriff was interviewed.
Florida.
And Florida, love Florida. Shout out Florida. And the sheriff said that Trump was shot at. I believe that was his words. Shot at.
I mean, they caught the dude, right? That's what he said there. Like the suspect was apprehended or something like that. So,
I don't remember.
look, I don't know what's going on. They're trying to take this dude out.
They're trying to take him out, man. Like I said, I'm gonna just not vote, but people are like, I got to one up that.
But don't
take him out from being voted for.
Hey,
That's kind of crazy. Like, I don't condone violence, at all. And I was a military person, so I was okay.
that doesn't mean that you like violence, though.
No, but I was pretty happy with. I was pretty satisfied with. I deployed, and I was pretty satisfied with okay, if it was to come down to it, I think I really could take someone's life. Like I have no problem doing with it. Even now, I still feel mentally capable, mentally able to take someone's life if I needed to, right?
Oh, I mean, if you have to, come on, like,
and I'm not gonna cry over it.
like if your kid's life was in danger, I would not think twice about it.
I would not think twice about it. But I'm just saying, not even that. Let's just say your own life, right? Your own life. I'm not, and I think
I am not giving my life away for anyone.
Yeah.
Let's say someone breaks into your house. First of all,
I love Texas.
we have the castle
Castle
law.
doctrination.
There
Yep.
you go, whatever, right? So that means if you break into my house, most likely
bodies at the floor.
that's the funniest video ever.
Yeah.
For the people that don't know, this is video online where this dude rigged
Alexa device.
Alexa to the lights in his house too. All smart lights. You can change the color. You can do all these things with it, and basically it says Alexa, intruder alert, and the whole house turns red and it starts playing that song. Let that body hit the floor. Let that body hit the floor.
Yeah.
Imagine if you're like a thief or whatever, you break into someone's house
You hear
and
that.
that shit starts happening. You better get the fuck out.
You close the door and exit the premises.
Yeah. So yeah, look, again, we got the whole Trump situation because we always get sidetracked with shit. I don't know. Do you think he could be staging it at this point?
Like I said, I told you earlier, the first one seemed kind of weird, but this one, I don't know. Two times? You're a brave mofo if you stage it twice.
I mean, you're going to get caught.
Yeah, I don't know. The first one just seemed kind of weird.
Wouldn't he have beefed up security now after the first one happened?
But also, too, what was in Trump's favor in the first one was that there were apparently security flaws. And so, well, not in his favor, but that explained
it
why
could
the
have
shooter
been
got
not in
where
his
he got.
favor.
Yeah, but it explained why the shooter was able to get where he was at and let off.
Oh yeah, it was a whole mess.
Two shots. I think two shots,
3 shots, because someone died in the background.
Two people got shot, right? And one died.
One died.
Yeah,
I think it was like a firefighter or something like that. He worked at a
he covered
fire
his
station.
daughter or something like that. Yeah, so I mean, yeah,
I think regardless, it doesn't matter. You could hate the dude, you could think he's a piece of shit or whatever. That gives you no right, to take him out. If you really want to take him out, whether you think the voting system is rigged or not, just go do your thing. If you want to vote for him, vote for him.
If not,
and don't vote for the person that you don't want. And look, as soon as you every politician, they're sneaky people. They do things and they promise things and all that shit. I don't necessarily like any politician to begin with, but that doesn't really give you the right to just take them out or kill them.
Yeah.
Even because, you know, there's this whole thing all like, well, he's dangerous for democracy or whatever the fuck that means, right? There's people that are dangerous for, you know, democracy and a bunch of other things, and still that doesn't give you the fucking right to take them out.
Yeah.
And imagine if we just solve every problem like that, then
exactly
we'll be in some deep shit.
Then we would just be a freaking wild, wild west all over again.
Well, that's what happens in like dictatorships, right?
Yeah.
The government, if you say something that they don't agree with, you disappear. It happens in Russia. It happens in China. Like, you know, I think what was the owner of or the CEO of Alibaba or whatever, that the huge site that sells, it's like a huge online market, like an eBay type
Alibaba?
situation. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So if you say the wrong thing, you get put away.
Well, it's like with Putin, right? He had this publicist, this Russian publicist, right? And I think it was a Russian publicist that just disappeared. Not disappeared. Yeah, exactly.
Something happened.
Yeah, exactly. Unexplainable death. That's kind of what it comes down to. It's
all right.
Yeah, so.
Well, we're going to wrap it up. This was the 4th episode. We've been going for, an hour and 3 minutes already. That's just the actual audio recording. We were fucking around before. But hey,
this was a pretty good episode.
Hey, we're still here.
We're still here. We're still going.
There's more coming. Again, we're gonna release one every week on Mondays.
Yep.
That's our plan. You know, we might, you know, post it a little later or not, whatever, but it's every week.
Yeah.
That's our plan, and we're gonna stick to it. But yeah, it was a good episode. We cover a bunch of things, some things that we just left out, and like I said, they're general things that we can just talk about any episode. It's not something.
Be sure to check us out on TikTok,
everywhere. TikTok,
YouTube,
Instagram,
Insta.
YouTube.
We got shorts. So
yeah, shorts.
Spotify,
TikTok, Spotify. We're on pretty much every major platform.
Yeah.
Apple Podcast, Spotify, YouTube. Obviously, YouTube, you have the video recording as well, so you can see our dumb fucking faces. And we out. That's it. Fuck Purple Rain. You fucking idiot. Bye. See ya.